Hello and what is going on YouTube? It's Duoscape here, and today I have an updated Firewatch guide for 2021. For those of you unaware, there's been a lot of power creep in the game over the past year, and prices have changed a lot. So for those of you considering camping Firewatches, this is your video to get started. If you're looking for daily RuneScape 3 videos, then consider subscribing to the channel to get your fix of RuneScape 3 content. We have tons of series and video ideas on the cards that you don't want to miss out on. Right, now let's get into the requirements that you're going to need for this method. Okay, so first up, you're going to want to complete the River of Blood quest. This will give you access to the area and unlock you the best weapon for killing these, the Sun Spear. Also, along the way, on doing the quest before this, you'll unlock the Draken's Medallion, which is the fastest method to teleport here in-game. Also, I'd like to add, if you haven't done the Vampire questline yet, I'd heavily recommend doing it as it's one of the better questlines in the series. You'll also want to make sure that you have cremated 500 Firewatch corpses. In order to do this, you simply need to kill these with a blisterwood weapon and collect the stackable corpses that they drop. Do not use a Sun Spear here as it will automatically cremate them. Once you have 500 of these, you're going to need to cremate them using pyre logs. And the reason that you want to do this is because for every 50 that you cremate, it will result in boosted stats for the Sun Spear, capping out after 500. And finally, for anyone looking to camp these, I'd heavily recommend getting the Morytania Elite Diaries completed, as the Morytania Legs 4 when worn grant a 50% bonus for cremating Vires to all of your experience gained. This includes your prayer XP and your fire making experience. Now that we've taken a look at the requirements, we can look into the gear setup that I'd recommend using for this method. We're going to be using magic for the method in this video. There are plenty of guides out there that show how you can use melee to maximise your profits an hour here, so I'd recommend checking them out. First up, I'd recommend having tier 80 magic gear here, as this is going to greatly reduce the amount of damage that you're going to take while being relatively inexpensive. I personally use Virtus, as it's what I already had on my account, but feel free to use Seren if you have it in the bank. As you can't use legs here, because you need to wear the Morytania legs 4, I'm going to be using my Virtus Road Top, and I'm going to perk this out with Scavenging 4 and Biting 4. Feel free to swap Biting for Crackling if you have it. Next up, on your Sun Spear, you're going to want to make sure this is set to Magic, and you're going to want to put Precise 6 and Coroming 4 on this to maximise your kills an hour. In terms of Amulet slot, you're going to want to make sure you bring an Amulet of Zealots, as this is best in slot here because you have a 100% hit chance against the Firewatches. This will make your lower level curses better than the tier 99 prayer, so I definitely recommend bringing this. If you are having trouble surviving, then feel free to swap this for a blood necklace for extra heals throughout the hour. And also, because these are susceptible to weapon poison, you want to make sure you bring Cinderbane gloves, which will passively deal weapon poison damage to the Vires and increase your kills an hour. The Firewatches also drop a ton of split bark items, which have a high alch value, so you want to make sure that in your rune pouch, you bring nature, fire and air runes, and you want to set your spell to air surge. Finally, you're going to want to bring your best overloads available to you, which in my case is the Elder Overloads. You're also going to want a gem bag and spring cleaner to clean up the ground loot. And Enhanced Excalibur is also great here, just in case you need any extra hit points while killing these. Next, let's take a look at some must-have items that I'd recommend for killing Firewatches. Most importantly, you're going to need a way to regenerate your prayer points, and thankfully we have 4 amazing auras that are great for this. The Supreme Corruption, Harmony and Salvation all replenish prayer points whenever you receive prayer XP, which is great here. Also, as a last resort, you want to use a Penance aura, as this will give you prayer points based on the amount of damage that you take. The first 3 that I mentioned will sustain your Soul Split, Leech Magic Strength and Leech Defense easily throughout the whole duration of the aura, which is great because it lets you just AFK these and let it run in the background. In terms of useful ability unlocks, as a minimum you want Corruption Blast, which can be unlocked using a Mazcab ability codex from raids. But the new Greater Chain ability from Raksha is what really lets magic shine here. For those of you unsure of how this works, basically whenever you use Chain, your next ability will deal AoE damage to all of those hit by the Chain for 50% ability damage, which even works for a Full Asphyxiate or Wild Magic, which when paired with Coroming 4 will greatly increase your kills an hour at any mob where you're going to want to use AoE abilities. You're also going to want to make sure you have your Seed Aside here or in your tool belt, as this will give you upwards of 120,000 farming experience an hour that you don't want to miss out on. And finally, a legendary familiar can be used to automatically pick up some drops so that you can AFK even more. Next up, I have some useful tips that will help you increase your profit here. First and most important, you want to familiarise yourself with the spawns of the Vires so that you know how many should be attacking you at once. You can have upwards of 7 Vires on you at a time when done correctly, and if you notice that there are less than this, then it is likely that a Vire or 2 are trapped somewhere in the area. To fix this, you're going to want to locate and kill any of the missing Vias so that you have the maximum number of them on you at any given time. As a rule of thumb, you should have 4 Via spawns directly around your player, 1 to the west and 2 in the building southwest of the player. In order to boost your rates and gain the ability to kill the 2 in the southwest building, you're going to want to periodically open the door every 10 minutes. A quick way to do this is simply to click diagonally across from your player and then surge to get straight to the gate. Open the gate and then simply surge back to the spot. Now that we have covered the spawns, we can discuss the method itself. All you need to do is have your aura, prayers and auto retaliate on and AFK to your heart's content on the spot that I show on this video. On screen now will be the Revolution++ bar that I use to kill over 900 Vias an hour using magic. A big tip for anyone who wants to AFK would be to use the Alt1 Toolkit plugin, AFK Warden, which can be set to alert you whenever your overload runs out so that you can take another dose. You will also want to make sure that you keybind your area loot so that you can loot without moving. To do this, you want to go to the settings, select controls and scroll down until you find the area loot. Bind this to a key that you will easily remember. I personally use L. Then all you want to do whenever you want to loot is press the L key bind followed by space and then press escape. And if you have placeholders of the loot in your inventory, this will loot everything that you need to and enable you to go back to AFKing. By using the method, loadout and revolution bar that I use in this video and opening the door every time it closes, you can expect to get upwards of 925 kills an hour. This will result in just under 400,000 prayer XP, 610,000 magic, 280,000 fire making and 120,000 farming XP, which is insane considering you're going to be making some great money while doing this and it's completely AFK. And for those of you that are unable to achieve 925 kills an hour, on screen I have now that will show you the rates that you can expect to get from getting 800 kills. Finally, on screen now I have a tool that will let you track how much GP you can make an hour while killing Via watches. This will enable you to manually change how many kills you can get and it will show you the amount of GP that you will make per kill, per hour and the quantity of every single item that you can expect to receive while killing these. It will also show you the amount of experience that you will gain from a certain number of kills. You can use this to put in a sample of whatever you would like to see and see how much you should expect to get. And for those of you that are wondering how much money you can make AFKing Vias an hour in 2021, is just over 8 million GP an hour. Which is absolutely insane considering that you're getting free prayer XP, fire making, farming and combat XP all at the same time. I couldn't recommend doing these more if you are an Iron Man, main account or even a new account. Get your levels up, do the quest and get the stats to do this. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you found something useful, drop the video a like and feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on any daily RuneScape free content. If you have any video ideas that you would like to see in this format, then drop a comment down below and thank you all for watching.